Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. We have the F1 2020 career mode, and this weekend we have the Chinese Grand Prix. Welcome back if you are new around here. We have the Chinese Grand Prix as I said before. We also have a new sponsor to add to our team. We have a new sponsor, but I'm going to replace the sponsor that I had on my car. So I feel like this was time for a change. We've had this one sponsor since season 1, so I feel like I want a sponsor with a good goal bonus. Weekly income, I'm not too fussed about, but when I achieve the goal that they set me, I want a bonus that's going to give me quite a lot of money. So I looked at this one called Neon, which was qualified P4 or better. Now, I feel like as the car does get quicker, this would be more possible, because some tracks I'm qualifying P3 and stuff like that now. So I really do feel like it is possible to start doing it. So hopefully we end up qualifying better. I'm just going to put this new sponsor on my car a little bit more. This weekend for the Chinese Grand Prix, I'm getting my words out. For this weekend for the Chinese Grand Prix, we're going to have a few, not upgrades coming this weekend, but in a few weekends time, we're really starting to focus on the chassis upgrade, just because I feel like the chassis, as much as I said I wanted the powertrain to improve this season, I feel like the chassis needs to come first, because we do have the second worst chassis on the grid at the moment, which I really don't like. Yes, the powertrain isn't brilliant in the back of my car, but because Mercedes improved it so much over the winter, it sort of meant that I can focus on the chassis in the first half of the season. So we don't have a lot of money to spend. However, I do really want Gasly to start performing a bit more. I do want to see Gasly start to possibly get some more points. Well, get some points first, then get more points. So I really want to upgrade the personnel section of the team. So I'm going to purchase the fitness center, which will make its awareness stat improve, which basically means he won't crash or anything like that as much as he would do normally. So I'm just going to fill in our activities. I do want to really focus on giving Gasly more money for himself to improve his driver perks. And just to improve him as a driver, because that way he'll be better off for our team. Looking at the improvements we got to do, as you can already see, I've got a major chassis upgrade coming. But I'm just going to advance time to get some more resource points so we can actually get the new parts of the car. So we're going to purchase another chassis upgrade. We're going to have a double major chassis upgrade coming. So in the next few races, we should really be heating up in the chassis department, which will be great. As you can see, our durability is the best part of our team. I'm not going to focus on that too much this season, as long as we don't get as many penalties as we did last season, which was ridiculous, how many penalties we actually ended up getting. So if we look at everything, if we look at all of our specs, everything's pretty much spec 2 apart from my aero department, I'm pretty sure, and one other department, durability and management, but I'm not too bothered about that. But if we look at Gasly's race stats, he's 90 rated, so he is quite highly rated at the moment. He's got good racecraft, good awareness, and his pace is good, but his experience is lacking, but we can't improve his experience ourselves. That will just improve the more he drives for our team, so I really do need him to start performing, otherwise I will consider replacing him when his contract ends in like the middle of the season, which is like July time. As you can see there, 81 days, 31st July his contract ends. So I want to see some good results from him, so hopefully this weekend he can possibly get some points. So, that being said, we're going to jump into the race weekend, and I will see you guys in qualifying. So, here in Q1, just really want to just get a nice couple of laps in, try and get out of Q1. I believe Q2 is definitely possible, obviously. I feel like in the practice sessions the car has some good pace. I don't think it's quite there for Q3, but I think we can probably qualify P11, P12 sort of thing. So it just needs a clean lap. My first lap whenever I do qualifying is often quite slow. This is mainly because I just want to get a feel for the track on a qualifying lap, because in practice I only do one qualifying run. I don't actually do a lot of qualifying practice, I do a lot of race practice, hence why the race pace of this car and myself as a driver, my race pace is so good. I do need to focus on qualifying a bit more, I'll be honest. Anyway, into Q1, going around in turns 1 and 2. Probably one of the hardest parts of this track, mainly because of the sheer like elevation change. Going up into turn 1 you go up, and then going down you come down into turn 2, so the elevation changes quite a lot. This part of the track I actually quite like. It's about getting a good exit. I was just a bit too cautious on the throttle there, so I think I'm probably about half a second down already from where I should be. Albon sets on 130 flat, so It's a pretty standard time from Alexander Albon. In terms as well of the championship standings, I'm currently P4. Yeah, P4 of the drivers. P4 in the drivers, and I'm currently P4 in the constructors. So the aim at the end of the season to come P3. We came P4 last year. We're not anywhere close to be challenging Red Bull yet, but we should be P3. We should be best of the rest off the field. So P3 is what I want to achieve this year, with at least P4 or P3 in the drivers. So that's the aims for the season. We're coming towards the end of our lap. It's been a clean lap. It's not been a quick one, but it's been a good delta lap, so when we next go off our run, we have a delta time to compare to. You can see I'm just very cautious on the power. It's a very clean lap. It's just I'm too cautious on the power. I don't want to put my foot down too much, and we come across the line and do a 1:30.8. So it was a very slow lap. You can see it down to P19. So not the best lap. We skip to our second run. We're currently a 10th up, trying to get a nice exit out here early on the power, and there we go. We're pretty much 3/10 up just from that one exit. Yeah, that's how cautious I was in the throttle from some of these corners. It's because I don't want to spin the car, but I need to learn to just put a bit more power down. So coming through this section here, I do normally lose quite a lot of time through here. It's not my favourite part of the track. As you can see, the rear end gets out away from me there, but we're half a second up currently on our fastest time. Trying to get a good exit out of here. Probably 6/10 up. Do not want to really kick the rear end out too much. Get a nice exit out the corner. There we go. Now onto the straight. Open up the DRS flap. Currently nearly 7/10 quicker than our first lap time, which should put us about the 1:30 flats, I reckon, by the end of the lap. 1:30.1 sort of times. Bit of a slower exit there. Could have gone on the power a lot earlier, but we didn't, unfortunately. Coming into the last corner. Good exit out of the last corner. But maybe not. Just caught up in the end. So we got 6/10 faster. It's going to put us P13 with Gasly just in front. Now, what happened here, as you can see, I'm out of Q1. Gasly's in P11. When I came back in the pits, it told me I was P11. Okay, me and Gasly were neck and neck on time, so I didn't think I needed to set an extra lap. So I didn't. So I wanted to save the tyres, and it turns out I wasn't quick enough and the track got quicker. Again, it's another mistake in qualifying strategy-wise. I had the pace in the car, you can see Gasly had the pace in the car, so very frustrating. We're going to be starting from a P17, I believe. Gasly starts in P12, so not a bad qualifying from Pierre. So hopefully some points for him. I am starting in P17 with Lando actually next to me with the grid penalty. So we're going to have a very quick first lap here to try and salvage something. I know I've got good race pace. I've just got to use it to my advantage. So hopefully we can have good race pace, make a few overtakes in lap 1, and just see where we can get to, really. Nothing much more to say apart from I've just got to have a good result. So yeah, you've got to drive fast, go for overtakes, and just not make mistakes for here at the Chinese Grand Prix.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Thank you, Jeff. So, about to start the race now. And off we go. 5 red lights. And away we go. Much good. Very good start off the line there. Enable our overtake button. Go into Rich Mix alongside the Haas. Down the inside of the AlphaTauri. Right behind Gasly already. Got a snap of oversteer there. Trying to go the inside, maybe go the inside of our teammate. We can kind of pull away from it. I did hit his side pod, which I feel quite bad for, but hopefully we can get in front of this AlphaTauri. Raikkonen actually goes past us. So try and get Raikkonen into the next braking zone, which should be quite easy to do. We've got Gasly next up. Well, actually, we may even get in front of Pierre here. Oh no, Pierre just gets in front of us. So we're right behind our teammate now. It's nice to be fighting against our teammate for once. The whole last season, it wasn't a thing fighting against our teammate of Giotto, who's actually quite quick now this season, but it wasn't a thing because he was so slow in the car. Whereas this season we've got Gasly in the car, so hopefully we can have a few good fights with him, and so far it looks like we are getting right up behind him. So maybe points are on offer this weekend. We're in 13, Pierre's in 12, so we're not far off the points at all. It's only Lance Stroll up the road who's in the last point position. Trying to make a move on Gasly here. Don't think he's actually enabling his Rich Mix or overtake, as I've just got past him quite easily there. We have the exact same car. Coming got the inside of maybe Danny Kvyat as well. Such a long way back. I don't think we'll quite be able to do. We weren't very far back there in comparison to where we were on our teammates. So we're up into P12 anyway. Take out the bollard in front of us. Get rid of it. Kvyat next up. We do a 140.3. So we have Kvyat, then Lance Stroll in the points. I hope we can get some points here. I think strategy will come into it, as tyre wear around this track is actually quite bad in the softs. We'll go for a nice move down the inside of Kvyat, but yeah, tyre wear on this track is quite bad in the softs, especially after qualifying. It just eats up the rubber. So a lot of pit stops in this race will be actually happening a lot earlier than usual in the 25% races. It normally happens about lap 7. We got the inside of Stroll, but actually quite an easy move there on Lads. And we're now up into the points. So already up into the points. After just 2 laps. So not a bad start at all. We've got Sebastian Vettel next up. Hope we can close on here. And then we've got Sainz and Albon. So maybe we can get some good results here. The Renaults are looking pretty quick at the moment as well. So we can get a good result this weekend. But as I was saying about the tyre, the tyre degradation is the softs just get eaten up so quickly. As you can see, I'm already losing grip. The car's sort of spinning out a little bit, so there's just not a lot of grip left in these tyres already. We're only on lap 2, so I've really got to be careful about how early I do put the throttle down. But hopefully we can redeem ourselves. A good exit out of this corner, and it will all be done strategy, whether you go for an overcut or an undercut. I think going for the overcut may work, because the mediums on a track where it's this overcast and tracks not that warm take at least a lap or 2 to actually wake up. So going onto the medium straight away, I don't think will give you that much of a grip over the worn out softs. So it's really a big strategy ball here. I think that's what's going to decide if anyone can jump in the pit stops. We're currently P10s. We've got to try and get past Sebastian at some point. Maybe we can in the next couple of corners to see if we can maybe get into turn 2. There's turn 1. Can we get down the inside of turn 2? No, too far back. What about turn 3? Yeah, no, too far back. So turn 1 and turn 2 is probably my favourite place to overtake. You're not going to get alongside them at turn 1, but a lot of the AI brake quite early for turn 2, and I brake a little bit later, so maybe that'll be another opportunity to overtake there. We go right alongside Vettel now. Again, we're just very good under the brakes. This car. There's one thing I do like about this car is that on the brakes it's very good, so I can actually afford to brake later. Whether it's to do with my setup or the car itself, I don't know, but I'll take it. Which means I can brake later and carry more speed into the corners. So it does enable me to make some more overtakes throughout the corners rather than the straights. Vettel pulls away from us a little bit there on that exit. He didn't get the best exit. Again, with too caution on the roll. Hopefully we can get DRS off him, as DRS has enabled this lap. So we've just got to again keep everything nice and clean, and maybe try and make an overtake at the end of this straight. Use up a bit of our ERS to try and get a bit closer to him than we were before. We have DRS as well. Open the DRS flap while only a half a second down. Let's see if we can get a gap a little bit closer. Will we be making the lunge on Vettel? I'm not sure. No, way too far back actually. I thought I'd be more adventurous there. I have been way more adventurous than that in the past. So anyway, we're going to stick behind Vettel a bit more.
For a new strategy option.
Jeff's telling me to go for a new strategy, which I actually do accept to go for a new strategy. Just because I feel like the overcut could work, but it'll really just depend on whereabouts I am in the race and what everybody else does. Can we do it alongside my favourite spots to overtake on the track? Can we get past Vettel here? We go down the inside and we get past the 4-time world champion quite easily there. Very happy with that overtake, pretty straightforward. Now we're up into P9, so next on the road is Carlos Sainz and Alexander Albon. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. Again, look at under the brake, and we go from like 7/10 behind to within 4/10. The one corner, again, the rear end kicks out, which is losing a little bit of grip. I don't think the overcut's going to work. Just how much grip I'm losing and how much oversteer I am getting in the car. But we are behind Carlos Sainz now and Alex Albon, hoping to gain a few places through this next phase of the race at the moment. So we're now going to go skip to lap 5, which I believe I'm actually going to pit this lap. Reason being is I feel like... So the second Jeff said that, I was like, right, I'm coming to the pits. Because in the previous lap, some of the race leaders are already pitted. So they actually pitted on lap 4, and I was like, right, by the time I go for until lap 7, their time would be worn out. So And looking here, Sainz and Albon, whilst I'm talking, they're trying to get the inside. Sainz has actually made the overtake in the pit lane. I can't believe it. Carlos Sainz has overtaken Albon in the pit lane. That's actually a great move from Carlos. So you're allowed to do that here in China. The pit lane does actually allow for it. So very good move from Carlos there on Alexander Albon. Let's see what kind of stop the Morris Motorsport crew can give us. We've got 1.9 last race out. Oh, it's slow. 3 seconds. I've only just been released. We could have got in front of Albon. If that pit was better, we could have got in front of Alex Albon. Lance Stroll actually goes past us and actually hits his front wing. Stroll's lost part of his front wing as Alex. Can we go the inside and maybe both of them? Alex just completely lifts off there, which just gives us the place. So we jumped Albon, we jumped Stroll, and Vettel's also still behind. So next up the road is Carlos Sainz. I don't know what position that puts us in. I believe it's technically P8. I would say our teammate Gasly is not coming in the pit yet. But interesting to see where we come out compared to Gasly, because effectively Gasly's going for the overcut. And as I said at the start of the race, the overcut could work. Gasly's in the pit. You can see he's just coming out of the pits now. It's going to be very close to me and my teammate for the first time this season. We're right alongside Gasly. Can we get past him? I think we're going to stay in front of him, but oh my. Pierre Gasly almost just overcut us quite drastically there, but I'm not complaining because this means 2 of the cars for the first time ever in my first 2 seasons are both in the points. Gasly's P9, I'm P8, so far this is looking very good up the road. We've actually got Carlos Sainz, Ricciardo, then Ocon, so both the Renaults have sort of dropped back a little bit from the remaining field, so hopefully Gasly can stay in front of Albon and we can get a double points finish here, which would be great for the team. It's something I didn't have last year. When I was fighting against Racing Point, I only had myself getting points, so if I had a bad race, that was it for the team, whereas they had 2 drivers getting points, so it was almost impossible to fight with them in the end, which I did just manage to beat them. So we can have Gasly P3 in the championship. Could actually be a possibility this year, you know, and it's something that again will just help our development in regards to money, because the money that we got from becoming P4 was quite healthy, which gave us the opportunity to develop all of our facilities, at least to spec 1 and 2. So the prize money really does matter. I won't be focusing on the drivers this year. I'll just be focusing on constructors until the car's quick enough to challenge anything close to the world title. So hopefully we can pick up the pace here and maybe overtake Sainz or Ricciardo by the end of the race. We are capturing them slightly, just we still have we've got 6 more laps to go, so hopefully we can possibly catch them by the end of the last couple of laps. We're currently 2nd behind, so but that McLaren is actually one of the quickest cars in a straight line now. I don't know why, but it is one of the quickest cars in the straight line. It's much quicker now, so let's just see if we can still make this move on Carlos. We'll try and get right behind Sainz. Let's see if we can overtake him in the next couple of laps, hopefully. Good move on Sainz, right down the inside there. Lovely move into that corner. He's still right behind us, so we've got to try and keep him behind. Possibly lost a little bit of time for us from Ricciardo. Let's see if we can pull away from Carlos here and get close to Daniel. Oh, Leclerc and Ricciardo are fighting. Can we get the inside? We got the inside of Leclerc. Another move done. I think Leclerc must have had an issue with this car, because we're now up into P6. I can't believe it. We're up into P6. The 2 Renaults are next up the road. Can we? I mean, with Ocon in P4, could we even finish P4 in this race possibly? Let's see what we can achieve. There's 2 more laps left. Ocon's 1.3. Ricciardo's 7/10 ahead. Let's see what we can do. We come to lap 14 and I couldn't quite get the Renaults. They did end up pulling away from us. So that is the end of the race, and we come P6 in the Chinese Grand Prix.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So we get driver of the day. A good result from us, going from P17 on the grid up to P6 in the end, and I believe Pierre actually managed to get himself some points this weekend. Bottas comes through and takes the win. He's like 30 points clear now of Hamilton. I believe this is going to be double world champion Valtteri Bottas, which I don't think we're ever going to see in real life, but it's good to see now, that's for sure. So Bottas takes the win, another win for the Mercedes crew. So there we go, Bottas on the podium, then Hamilton, then Verstappen. Pretty standard at the moment, isn't it, apart from if I have a good race. So good race from the top three. We never even saw them at all. It was just so quick. But that's the top three on the podium. Let's have a look at where we finished compared to everybody else and where Sainz finished, more importantly. So Gasly got himself into 9th. He didn't let Albon pass. It's a double points finish for us. We get 10 points this weekend. I'm P3 in the drivers. Gasly's up to P14 in the drivers, so hopefully he can make some inroads on more points. In the constructors, we're up to P3. We're not going to challenge Red Bull, but we can maybe beat Renault and Racing Point. But thank you very much, guys, for watching. Please smash the thumbs up button. I hope you're enjoying the series. And until next time, bye for now, and I'll see you soon.